my name is Daniel Shao. I'm the art director on Raw Data.
And I'm James ILIFF, the creative director on Raw Data.
My name is Daniel Zeligman. I'm the lead engineer on Raw Data.
I'd say there's a lot of stuff going into this release. One of the most exciting things is the new hero, which is Elder, the Rogue Hunter. And he's got that bow and arrow, which we know players have been asking for a really long time. And it's insane. It's going to be so much fun playing around with this guy. There's a bunch of different abilities. He's got a multi-shot where you can shoot multiple arrows at once and hit several different enemies. You can also pull an arrow off your back and shoot that, and that's a tagging arrow. He's also got this, what is it, the Crystal Hazard?
The Crystal Hazard.
Right? So you can shoot at the feet of a bunch of robots coming down your lane, and it shoots up all these crazy green crystals, and it slows them down, and it damages them a little bit. We got explosive arrows, of course, and then we have this hollow decoy thing. It really breaks up the gameplay in a whole new way. I think it's going to be pretty exciting.
And then, in addition to doing that, we also worked on our 5v5 PvP, which is a first for the studio. So supporting our dedicated servers, making it performant, as well as just a good experience for all players around the world.
So Elder is actually Saja's father, and they have this backstory. I won't go into the details here, but there's a backstory with this ninja faction that's been around for thousands of years called the Shimmering Blade, and both Saja and Elder and Saja's mother, who has now been murdered, were part of this faction, right? And so essentially Saja's on this, this revenge trip, against Eden Corp because Eden Corp killed her mom, but Elder is very passive and
playing Elder compared to playing Bishop or Saja or Boss, you really have to be a lot more careful with your shots. Like, he's very much, even though he's not very much like necessarily a long range person, you kind of play him a little bit like a sniper. His attacks do a lot more damage. They do so much damage to compensate for how much you have to put into actually using it, right? You have to pull out the arrow, draw the bow, like all of these things. And because of that, he just does crazy amounts of damage. Like, the idea is Elder's from a different generation, right? He's from a generation, the generation above Saja, Bishop, and Boss. So his technology is going to be a little bit older. It's going to be a little bit more analog. A little bit more bulky, and he has this kind of the kind of like almost like a kind of grandpa kind of stubbornness about upgrading to new technology.
Right.
So you can see that reflected in just his outfit.
And then also big request that the community's wanted for a while, that we obviously introduced the PvP, but we also want to make work well in the campaign, is the artificial locomotion. We definitely designed the game around our telephysing mechanic when it came to how quickly the AI moves, how quickly they attack when it comes to attack animations, how long they fire, where they fire, if they're a ranged enemy. And we tweaked that and we rebalanced all of that.
We have a whole new mechanic built into the level design, where the level now in Mission 7 is all about it started out as hot-cold zones. We wanted players to have to stay in a warm zone in order to prevent themselves from freezing. And eventually it evolved a little bit where we didn't want to take all of our amazing lush green plants and then frost them over with ice, because that kind of defeated the purpose. We wanted to have a lush green bamboo forest kind of environment. So we decided to instead experiment with hallucinogenics. And if you're within the safe zone, you stay completely normal, completely sober. But if you're outside the safe zone of like these little life trees, we call them, you start experiencing hallucinations. And the effects are very similar to what LSD might be like, with entoptic phenomena and various color variations and patterns, and messing with your sense of depth and your depth perception, to really give you this sensation of like, oh wow, I'm tripping out and I'm fighting robots. A lot of our community has been asking for more linear progression. A lot of our community has been asking for variety in environments. And we realized we wanted to have something that was green and organic and fresh and lush. And that kind of was the premise that Daniel started to work on when you're doing the initial concepts of.
Visually speaking, this 0.7 update with Botanical Gardens will have some of the most interesting and kind of diverse imagery that you'll ever see in Raw Data up until now.
So the new environment was a huge thing. We realized that we wanted kind of to get Raw Data out of the laboratory and into nature to kind of have some more exciting places to explore for players. And we also were hearing from players that they wanted to have more than just an arena experience. They wanted to have more of a linear campaign experience. So this is what we set out to do with Mission 7 in the 0.7 update, is we put it in the Botanical Gardens, which is this massive facility inside Eden Tower. where they're growing these genetically modified plants, and there's all this DNA research and genetics research going on by this company called Watson Genomics, and you're going to learn all about that in the mission. But there's a linear progression, so it's not just one central arena. There's actually a tram sequence, which is actually a big challenge to get the tram sequence sorted out. But it's a really cool tram sequence at the beginning that takes you on a little bit of a tour, and then you go outside and you fight outside the Watson Genomics compound, and you go in. There's like this meditation sequence in the attunement chamber, and then you break yourself back out, and you have to hop in the tram and escape. So it's a whole new kind of way of experiencing raw data that we think is a big evolution from the original style of maps we were making in the early.
So with raw data PvP, we wanted to make PvP that felt like it was raw data. What that means is we still wanted to feel like an action hero. We still wanted this fast-paced, frenetic style similar to the campaign. So the raw data PvP, you move very fast. It's much quicker to drop in and drop out. It's somewhere we're heavily inspired by arena shooters of the past. So adding the sprint functionality, as well as just the power-ups and just the entire hostile takeover, keeping the hill game mode. All of that came together with a lot of discussions about what we wanted to make. It was less about tactics and more about action. So the beta gave us a lot of good user feedback from our user surveys, as well as talking to players on Discord and on Reddit and elsewhere, but also just getting the analytics for the actual balance numbers was really, really good. So we got a good sense of how the game played on a holistic level.
I've got a good tip. So right after we get off the tram, set up some turrets.
Oh my god, I always forget that.
Yeah, people always forget the turrets. I forget the turrets too sometimes, I'll admit, but yeah, right after we get off the tram, set up.
Because you're so busy grabbing the briefcase, putting the briefcase down, and then you set the briefcase down, it's like, crap, robots! So yeah, place those turrets.
The big thing is remember to use your ultimates. They have a long cooldown, but they're all extremely powerful and all really fun to use for all 4 characters. And so in addition to the ultimates, use them, when you're defending the capture point, when there's a lot of enemy players around. Thank the raw data community for all the feedback we receive on Reddit, the Steam forums, the Oculus forums, elsewhere. We definitely read all of it. The early access period has been great for the company and the game evolving as a whole. Just all your feedback is great. It's definitely appreciated, and we try to act upon as much of it as possible. Thanks.